Welcome to the Profitable NDIS Provider Podcast, where we're joined by your hosts, Tania Gomez and Paul Bryan. In each episode, we'll be sharing valuable insights and tips to help you turn your NDIS business into a profitable venture. So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, you've come to the right place. Let's stop surviving and start thriving.
Welcome, everybody, to the Profitable NDIS Provider Podcast. My name is Paul, and of course, I'm here with Tania. And today we have Kelly from One Community joining us today. Say hi.
Hi.
Welcome, Kelly.
Awesome. So good to have you here with us. We're going to have a bit of a chat and see what's going on.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
I'm really excited to have you here, Kelly. I think we caught up recently when I was in Sydney, and it was just so great to meet you in person and hear about your, amazing background and what you're achieving in the space and what you have achieved, and I suppose also your plans for the future. For all of our wonderful listeners, do you mind just giving us a little bit of a background about One Community, where you started, where you are today, and I guess your personal experience in the disability sector also?
Great. Well, thank you for the warm welcome, guys. Yeah, so I have a sports background, actually, not as an athlete, but in the management side of sports. So that was always my passion growing up. And after university, I ended up working for Paralympics Australia. So I was working within the disability sports side of things for many years, about 5 years, and just really got a real kick out of it and had a real passion for working with people with disabilities. Fast forward about 15 years, I ended up in Newcastle, and sport jobs are a little bit hard to come by here in a regional centre. So I ended up working for a large service provider here in Newcastle, and it wasn't long after the rollout of the NDIS. So it was sort of an exciting time. Things were new and things were evolving quite quickly. I was a support coordinator, so found it a very challenging role, but it was a role that gave you a really good overview or understanding of the NDIS. I had a big caseload of clients. I felt overwhelmed, overworked. I was forever trying to research different services that were out in the community, trying to find the right ones for my 38 different participants that I looked after. So I would be on the phone a lot, ringing 1-800 numbers. I'd be emailing, getting no responses, and just found it very time-consuming. And I guess the flip side of that was that you had to charge your research time back to the participants. So I thought there must be an easier way. So I came up with this concept of getting all the providers in one room in a speed dating type format and getting to spend 5 minutes with each provider, getting to know what they do, finding out what their values are, finding out what would best suit my clients. So that's where it all sort of started. So then One Community was born, and, we run networking events all over the country trying to connect providers, but also providers with support coordinators, participants, and their families.
And you're undoubtedly the largest at what you do. How many people attend your events and how many locations are you in?
Yes, well, we're in our 6th year now, Tania, and the first year we did around 30 events up and down the east coast of Australia. Now we do 120 events all over Australia in every state, every territory, and we're really passionate about getting to regional areas as well. So we don't want those guys to miss out. We want them to know about their choices. So I don't know how many people that would mean we reach. I can't do my maths at the top of my head, but we get maybe 50 to 100 people per event, and we run 120 a year. So
that's brilliant.
That's huge.
So yeah, it is really good. And then if you think we get support coordinators to those events who, they look after 20, 30 clients each too, so they pass on that information. So we have quite a network now.
Yeah, huge.
That's brilliant. Yeah, you're really touching the whole nation with how you are helping people connect. I love that. And obviously One Community sort of embodies that idea, doesn't it? Bringing everyone together.
Yeah, that's right. we're all about connecting people with people, and people with knowledge, really. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful. So, yeah.
Brilliant. And could you tell me a little bit about the awards in the events as well that you put on?
That's right. So we primarily do our networking events, but once per year we run the Australian Disability Service Conference and Awards. So we're in the third year of those now, and they move around from state to state. This year in November we're running it in Melbourne at the Exhibition Centre. So the aim of, I guess, we call it ADSCA, just to abbreviate the name, it is quite long. The aim of that event is to bring everybody together to celebrate. In our industry, it's very fast-paced, very busy. People just have their heads down, working, don't take the time really to reflect and celebrate the good things that are happening. We do hear a lot about the bad things in the media, unfortunately, so we try to turn the focus back to the success stories, and I guess in the hope that it lifts the standard of the industry as well by highlighting the good things that are happening. Yeah.
Fantastic. And with all those events that you're doing, so all the the networking, the speed dating, I love the idea of that, and even with the awards, how does that help businesses in terms of like getting their name out there, connecting, and really, I guess at the end of the day, attracting clients?
That's right. Yeah, well, I guess they're a little bit different. With our events, the networking events, the providers see support coordinators as gold. Like they all want to connect with support coordinators because they feel it's, the way to reach participants.
It's the holy grail. Yes.
That's right. And because support coordinators are just so busy with their time, I mean, they don't often go to big expos because they don't have the time to walk around all day and visit all the different booths. But they tend to come to our events because they're short and sharp and they're 2 hours. So we do tend to get a lot of support coordinators. So the service providers just love to meet them and grab their details and they keep in touch with them that way. So that's the event side of things and why providers like those and they get value out of them. With the awards, I guess it's, people nominate for the awards because it showcases them and it sets them apart from the rest, especially if they become a finalist, I guess. So it gives them a point of difference and, it gives them the opportunity to promote themselves.
Oh, that's fantastic. And obviously,
really
it's being put out in front of people as well. Sorry, Tania, yeah?
Sorry, Paul, I think we're talking on top of each other. I was going to ask a little bit more about the awards as well as to are there different types of categories? How do people know if it's something that they want to be involved in? And I guess what is the benefit for a provider in showcasing their provider, themselves, their company? Is it also for their staff? Who exactly participates? Right.
Yeah. So there's 13 different categories. And the different categories sort of cover the main NDIS service areas. So we have like support worker of the year, support coordinator of the year, allied health organisation CEO. So that, those sort of big ticket items. And I think businesses obviously like to, it's really good that they recognise their staff. So it not only boosts the morale of the staff, but it gives them motivation, I guess, the staff, and it's like an investment in their staff. And I mean, I know some people see award nominations come in, they see the opportunity and they think, that's going to be 30 minutes and I couldn't be bothered. But you just got to think that it's 30 minutes investment, in your staff and making them feel good and actually recognising what they do and make them feel valued. So I think that's really important. And it would certainly help with the retention of staff because they, move around a little bit in our industry. They tend to move from organisation to organisation, but they're less likely to move if they're feeling valued and made to feel important. So I think that's one really important aspect. As a finalist or even the winner, it really shows your brand. It lets people put trust in your brand, I guess. And even though it recognises staff, but also might help to attract staff. If you're seen as a recognised, trusted brand, people are more likely to apply for jobs at your organisation as opposed to someone that's perhaps not an award winner or a finalist. So, yeah, there's many different advantages, I think, of nominating for awards, that's for sure.
That's cool.
Do you get a lot of applications? Is it something that everyone participates in? And it's obviously the conference does get, I think you said, a couple of 300 or 400 people come to the conference.
That's right.
There's the awards night is part of that as well. And so you have that kind of gala dinner feel.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so nominations have closed now, and we did receive around 300 across the 13 categories. So the selection panel are currently going through those. So that's quite a big job. Our selection panel is an independent panel, so they are made up of people with disabilities or people that work experts in our industry. So they're just going through those at the moment. But yeah, on the night, so they whittle those 300 nominations down to 3 finalists. So we try to get all the finalists there on the night, and we announce the winner. We get them all up on stage and then announce the winner. So that's really good. A lot of the finalists get by a table, so they take their staff along, and really great opportunity for them to celebrate and get together.
Paul and I are both speaking at the conference this year, which we're really excited about. And so we'll actually we'll be able to talk about it with a lot more knowledge of it once we've been through the process. But I've been to similar events in other sectors, and I think it's just a great opportunity for everybody to come together, to celebrate, to let their hair down, have a bit of a dance and a couple of drinks, and really celebrate what it is to be, amazing service providers in the area, and think about that recognition piece. I think when I've done things like tables before and brought all of my staff along, and it's such a nice night for all of the staff to feel part of something bigger than them, part of a real industry and a sector, as opposed to their job, their desk, their cubicle, or their participants each and every day.
It's so true, and a lot of us work from home now too, so you often sit around in tracksuit pants during the day. You don't get out as much anymore, do you? So we roll out the red carpet, and it is very glitzy, very glamorous. We have Minister Bill Shorten is coming this year too, which is good, and we'll have NDIA board members there. So some pretty powerful people in the room, and just the dance floor at the end of the night is going off.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I always say that all the real deals are done on the dance floor at the end of the gala dinners. That's where you see all the power moves happening, and everyone's sitting around going, "Oh, okay, maybe we can form a partnership." And you've got people changing jobs and talking to new employers. I think it's such an exciting sort of flurry, and it's one of my favorite things about. I was on a industry board for 8 years, and part of that was all the conferences. It was always my favorite thing to see all the relationships blooming and blossoming between organizations, between individuals, and that sense of camaraderie as opposed to competitiveness. It's always such a
brilliant
experience. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like I could brush up on my dancing skills while I'm there.
I think so. Yes, definitely. You have to find a space on the dance floor. We had one of the organisations that won Community Program of the Year last year was a dance program. So they had a table of some of their, dancers and staff. So they really, they set the dance floor alight. Sort of scared me off a little bit, to be honest. That was good. Yeah. So it's fun.
Fantastic. So, look, I wonder if you could let us know about maybe some examples or case studies of clients who have, successfully showcased their business through the awards and events, and how they went about doing that. So what strategies did they use to showcase themselves and put themselves forward?
Yeah, sure. So, finally, the ones that made the most of it, I guess, are the ones that really engage with their local media. So we do a nationwide PR program as part of it. So once we find out who our finalists are, we'll really target the media in their local areas. And generally, we do get a really good cross-section across Australia, which is really, really good. So there's those local media opportunities that we sort of start and encourage people to engage in those local media interviews and things like that. There's also obviously a lot of social media around it all as well. We do profiles on each of the finalists and we'll put them up on social media. So the finalists tend to share those as well throughout their network. So that's really worthwhile for them as well. And then you see people put on their footers of their emails or put on their websites a little, emblem that's saying they're a finalist. They might have put it on their business cards, on their marketing materials. So just making the most of it, I guess, of all those little opportunities to showcase that they're actually finalists. And you'll see LinkedIn gets pretty hot with people sharing the posts and announcing that they're finalists as well.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
and I
brilliant.
see a lot of people do that with the speakers as well. I've seen that there's a number of people in my network who are speaking at the event that are saying, share this and come and visit us talking about these things. And I guess that's a really nice part of it as well for professionals in the space to be showcasing their brands and their expertise also by speaking at your events.
Well, that's it, Tania, too. So, we've got the conference as well. So the awards obviously presents a great opportunity to, say that you're a finalist and showcase what you do, but the conference is there as well. So that is a great chance for people to talk about the wonderful things that they're doing and inspire the rest of the sector. Yeah.
And you said that you have 120 of your Ready, Set, Go. Is it Ready, Set, Connect? Events that happen. Ready, Set, Connect events that happen, and they're all across Australia. Is there more that you can tell us about the smaller events and how people can get involved in those? Are they all just on your website and they go and check them out there? If they haven't been to one before, what can they expect? What is a day like at one of those events?
Yeah, so they're all on our website, and you can sort them by state. And we just might be a good opportunity to share that we also run really targeted ones as well. So Ready, Set, Connect is our flagship, our original, our OG, and it attracts service providers across all different services. So if you turn up to our original, the OG Ready, Set, Connect, you will get a real vast cross-section of services. And then we have more specific ones now. So we have Ready, Set, Home, which is around accommodation. So people know if they come to a Ready, Set, Home that they're just connecting with accommodation providers. So sometimes support coordinators, that's all they're looking for at the time. So those Ready, Set, Homes really suit them. We run a Ready, Set, Connect transition event, and that's for kids leaving school into the big wide world. So that's an opportunity for them to come with mum and dad or the carers just to see what services are going to suit them post-school. We run a Ready, Set, Connect Innovate, which is one of my favourites because it's all assistive technology providers. So
that's cool.
One of those ones, you see all the latest tech and what's out there, and we really try and encourage occupational therapists to go to those ones so they can keep on top of the technology that's available and make sure they're offering the best to their participants. So the other one is our Recruit, so trying to address the labour shortage that we have at the moment. So we get service providers that are looking for employees. They come along and we connect them with TAFE students, university students, and any workforce programs that are in the local community. We get them to bring their potential or job seekers along, and they, so got different varieties. But if you turn up to an event, it is very fast, very interactive. We do an intro at the beginning just to explain how it works. We have 25 service providers in the room, each of them hosting a table. So they just bring along a banner and tablecloth and their brochures. So they're sitting at the table ready by about 10 o'clock, our support coordinators and our speed daters. So we get participants come along as well. We get teachers, even LACs at times, and their support coordinators. So once the event kicks off just after 10, after the MC has done their intro, the support coordinators go to their allocated table, and the participants and their parents, the teachers, the carers. So all the speed daters go to their allocated table, and we kick off the event by saying, ready, set, connect.
Beautiful.
So as soon as, we say that, there's this hum in the room of just chatter. So the bells start, or the time starts right then and there, and every 5 minutes we ring a bell, and everyone sort of knows that on the bell ring they move to the very next table. We're a little bit strict on where people move to, because people tend to, if they haven't been to one before, move all over the place, which really stuffs things up a little bit. So, so it's all very structured. But by the end of the event, everyone's met everyone. Everyone walks out with like arms full of brochures and business cards. And, so it's over by about 12:30. And then we take waters around to everyone during the event. We don't break. It's just all systems go for
go.
Hours. Yeah, lots of chatter. So, and then they all leave and go back to work and go to lunch, and that's the event. So, we run around 2 or 3 a week. This week we're up in Queensland and next week in Melbourne. So it's different week to week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you got so much going on, and one of the things that I really love is helping people connect, because what you're doing there is helping, at the end of the day, participants get more choice and control with businesses connecting, collaborating on support. People are finding new business partners, new workers. They're finding managers. They're finding people to collaborate with, which is just brilliant. So hats off to you. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Paul.
Has it been fun?
Yeah, definitely fun, and you meet a lot of great people along the way, and you find little regions all do things differently, and we just find the more people that talk, the more that they share ideas, the more that they share knowledge, the more innovation that you see start to emerge, and people start thinking outside the square. It sort of motivates people to do things a little bit differently.
Oh, that's great. Hey, look, I've got a couple of main takeaways. I just want to make sure I've got this right, because you've got obviously the awards and some of the opportunities for providers there are to really be in the spotlight and to be celebrated for the cool things that they've done and how they've built their business, but also how they've helped people and maybe how they've innovated support and made things better for participants. It also helps people build trust in your brand, and even, as you said, attract new staff and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
But then even with like the Ready, Set, Connect, I want to make sure I got these right. You've got Ready, Set, Connect, which is the wide range across the board.
Yep.
You've got Ready, Set, Home, and I know there's been so many people talking about SIL and SDA at the moment, which obviously that's where they'll really want to be connecting. Ready, Set with Transition for school leavers. Ready, Set, Connect, Innovate for assistive technology and OTs, and then obviously Ready, Set, Connect, Recruit for help building staff, workers, and labour there.
Yes, you got it.
That's brilliant.
Sounds like a lot when you say it like that, Paul.
It is a lot. It is a lot. There's so much there, so much going on. I'm curious, Kelly, how big is your team? How many staff have you got running these events everywhere?
We're up to 15 now, Tanya. Yeah, the first year we started, when it was just Shelley and I, and there was the 2 of us, and we did 30 events, so it was just we were on the road all the time. But since then we've grown the team. So there's probably, out of the 15 staff we have now, there's probably about a core group of 6 that share the travel. And they love it. Don Elgin is our head of events. He's a former Paralympian. He's a motivational speaker. Everyone absolutely loves him. So he goes to the majority of events. I don't know how he keeps up with them. He's just traveling week to week, and he's a platinum Qantas frequent flyer now. He's traveled that much. But, he just really gets the crowd going, and and he's started this new thing where we used to ring the bell ourselves every 5 minutes, but he now shares the bell around. So every table host gets to ring the bell every 5 minutes. So he's always mixing it up and making it fun, and yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, good team.
And I had another question for you, Kelly. Was about when we spoke recently, you said that what you do is really so different than the big expos. If someone is considering one of your events or one of the big expos, who do you think they suit better? Or like, do they have different needs? Are they for a different demographic or a different purpose? Are they the same people that go to both, or do you get people that are, in more regional areas, or like, how do you see that position? Do you see that you obviously think you do very different things. How are they different for someone who's considering both?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think the audiences are a little bit different. I've been to a few expos now, and they're great because there's so many providers there, and I think they suit participants a lot better, participants and their families. They can wander around, take their time. There's a lot of giveaways and fun stuff like that too at expos. Our Reset Connect events seem to attract more support coordinators because I guess support coordinators are so time poor that our events, because they just go for 2 hours, they know they're going to be in and out, get the information they need, get back to work and continue on with things. So it probably, a little bit more focus for the professionals working in the industry, our events. Having said that, we do get participants along and we welcome them with open arms. That's the main difference, I guess. And expos tend to go over a couple of days. We do hit more regional areas than expos as well.
And it sounds like
reach more and more areas.
Your speed networking style means that they get that dedicated time with everyone in the room, and they can really make those deep connections really quickly and figure out who do they want to speak to and who don't they, as opposed to being in a hall with thousands of people and maybe speaking to a few, maybe not feeling confident about going up to every stall and introducing themselves and getting a card. I guess it might suit people who are who want to be forced to connect, right? It is all about the connection.
That's it. And people say that with our events too, like it's only 5 minutes, so, and they're not stuck there.
Yeah.
Even if they know the conversation's not going anywhere, but at least they know the bell's going to ring and they get to move on. They don't have that awkwardness of how am I going to get out of this conversation.
Yeah.
So
be polite to anyone for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not your person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I think that was all the questions that I had for you today, Kelly. It's been so great having you on and talking to us about what you do at One Community and the amazing events that you do, and that you're all across Australia. I'm looking forward to coming to some of your events in Perth soon. I know that you're going to be in Fremantle and Bunbury soon, and that's really exciting. And I'm really hoping I get to come to one of your Innovate events as well, because I think that anything technology is something that I'm so excited about. So, and of course, Paul and I will be at the conference, so we can't wait to be part of all of that, and probably have to come back and do another podcast about that and debrief and tell everyone how amazing it was and talk about the experience of speaking and seeing the awards happen. And, maybe we can even get some finalists on the podcast to talk about their journey through that. Maybe that would be something worthwhile doing.
That would be awesome.
Maybe in our next season.
Yeah, I'd even be maybe keen to even record one while we're there. Tanya, if you're up for it, we'll meet some people and grab a spot and actually do a bit of something live. It'll be a bit of fun there.
Yeah, that'd be
awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming today and joining us, Kelly. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up for today?
No, appreciate your time, guys. Thank you very much. If people do want to get tickets, they can. It's the website's adsca, adsca.com.au.
Yeah,
love to see people there.
Yeah,
brilliant.
We'll put all of those details in the show notes as well, and the links to the all of the events you've spoken about today, so they can check those out as well. And next week, we are actually interviewing Mike from Developing Communities Australia and talking about conferences. So it'll be straight from talking about your events into the conferences, and maybe we'll ask him as well about the differences between both so that people can, experience the wide range of different things out there for providers to showcase their business. But yeah, thanks for coming today, Kelly. And as always, it's great to chat with you too, Paul.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here today, Kelly. It was great to learn more about One Community and all the awesome thing you guys are doing.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
See you
Thanks
later.
so much. See ya.
See you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Profitable NDIS Provider podcast with Tania Gomez and Paul Bryan. We hope you found today's episode informative and valuable. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a rating, and share it with others who could benefit from our insights. Until next time, keep thriving.